Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. This is day 4 of our MSC World Europa series, and today we are docked in Civitavecchia. I think I've said that right.
Yeah. So we started our day quite early. We had organised then for room service to bring us our breakfast to the cabin at 8 a.m.
Although it did arrive earlier than that.
Yeah,
It
because
was about 20 to 8.
I was still asleep. So basically, the room service breakfast, it is only a continental option, so cereals, pastries, bread, tea, coffee, juice, that kind of thing. But it was fine. It was tasty.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
And the reason why we got up early was we had an appointment then booked to go to the thermal suite. So the thermal suite then is located in Aurea Spa, and as part of our package with our cabin, we have unlimited access to use the thermal suites there. So we had booked it then for 9 o'clock this morning, and we had a couple of hours just of R&R.
Yes, it was really nice, and the thermal suite on board MSC World Europa is very well kitted out. Although with some weird additions like that hot, cold walking pool.
Aye, yeah.
I wasn't really sure what that was about, but it was quite nice.
Whenever we had the tour, she did say that if you've got like feet problems,
going hot, cold
to help
would
your
help
feet or
it,
something.
yeah.
And then the other thing was, after I came out of the sauna, I went into the snow room, and it's this like tiny room which is nearly like walking.
It's like a freezer.
Like a walk-in freezer with like snow like in places, and it was super cold. But I stayed in there a couple of minutes just to sort of chill after being in the sauna. It was
I
nice.
thought the door was stuck, and then I was scared I was going to get stuck in the freezer and no one would find me. But yes, they had a hot steam sauna, and then like a more, they called it a soft sauna, which I'd never heard of before. And that was the one that I could bear, because I can't bear anything that's much too hot. If it's too humid and steamy, I feel like I can't breathe and I have to leave.
Yeah. So they have a steam room. They then have the soft sauna, which heats up to 40 degrees. And then the one next door to that is then it heats up to 60 degrees C. But yeah, it was nice. And then we had some time in the thermal pool, or the
hydrotherapy, yeah.
And then we just relaxed on those lovely big sort of ceramic stone beds. Just to chill. And it wasn't that busy. There was a few people about, but it wasn't crowded. It wasn't like noisy, or it was just a nice time, just to relax in and chill.
But we did not try the ice bucket thing. So there was like a bucket, and there was a chain, and if you pulled the chain, the bucket would tip. We didn't try that. We weren't brave enough.
I did hear one girl screech. I think she tried it.
She tried it, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah. No, we'll not give that a go. So after our time in the spa, I had then booked an appointment with the onboard barber. And what's really neat about World Europa is that they have a gentleman's barber shop, which is separate from the spa and the hair salon. I've had my hair cut a few times on different ships, and it's always just part of the normal hair salon. But this was really nice, just to go to like an old fashioned barber shop and get my hair cut, and I had a lovely clean shave. So hopefully you'll agree I look 5 years younger.
But I was really surprised for the haircut and the clean shave.
Yeah.
It was €39.
Yeah, and that included your service charge as well.
I just thought that was a really reasonable price, especially for something that was carried out on board on the ship.
Now, we just to point on that, because we're an Aurea guest, we do get 10% off.
Okay.
So it would have been 10% more, but even still yeah. I've paid a lot more for a haircut on a cruise ship.
So whilst Johnny was getting some more treatment for himself that I wasn't getting, I went around the World Galleria, isn't that in the centre? Just through all the decks. I wanted to get some ship tour footage, which will be coming soon to the channel. So it was quite quiet then. I thought I'd spend that time doing that.
Yeah, just a note that sometimes whenever you dock in a port like Civitavecchia, a lot of people get off the ship and go and explore either the local town or they head to Rome. And for us, it's an hour and a half's drive on a bus to Rome and an hour and a half back. We've done it before, by train, and it's a long day, and we just actually normally prefer to spend this day as a self-imposed sea day now.
Yeah.
Because again, the ship is normally quieter, so you get to enjoy some of the other facilities on board that you might not get to use or you might have to queue for when everybody else is here. So basically that's how we spent our morning, and then we needed to eat because it was lunchtime. So we went to Hola, which is the onboard Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, so we've been to Hola on board Virtuosa twice before, and it is one of our favourite specialty restaurants on any MSC ship, I guess, that has it. So we had to go on this ship, and yes, again, they still have that really good offer where it's like all you can eat for $17.99, which is an amazing offer. And yeah, so I think, what did we start with? We had
nachos to start.
Nachos. We had little tacos, 6 of those to share, and then we both had enchiladas, and then I had a little taco ice cream for dessert, and you had...
I had the tres leche, which is like a milky kind of dessert with
You've had that before, and
I really nice. Like it. The thing was, yesterday I felt like the food was superb.
It was the best that it's ever been.
I think for us, the reason why we enjoyed it so much was the last time. Well, every time, folks, that we've been to Hola, it's ended up killing us, and literally we've had to go to bed and lie down, because we literally couldn't move, and we just normally leave the restaurant feeling like 2 busted sofas, as we would say. And but yesterday the waiter was really nice. He wasn't really like forcing it upon you as if you. He
was over very often, once we had sort of finished with what we were eating, to say, what do you want next? What do you want? But we sort of didn't pile on too much, which is a much better way to be.
And but in saying that, it was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it, and it's worth, to be honest with you folks. There is different dining packages on board here. Just be careful whenever you're being approached by people wanting you to buy a dining package, because some of them, they'll say, oh, if you want the 2 dining package, you get to pick between, say, Hola and, say, teppanyaki. Well, like for us, we don't like teppanyaki, so therefore we would have to go and say to the next level, which is the 3, and then the guy would like, oh, you could have, say, here, the sushi bar, and say the botanic garden.
Yes, that garden specialty restaurant.
And I'm like, well, no, I've checked out the menu to that restaurant. I don't really want to go there. So again, it really limits you. So just be careful. Just work out what you want to go. Check out the menus. And see where you want to go if you do want to do
don't be scared just to do one specialty dining and just do it like what we did, where you just go to Hola and that's it.
Yeah.
It's nearly sold like you would have to do a few of them, and you don't. You can just do whatever you want.
No. Now, we have Big Butcher's Cut for the gala night this week, purely because in the main restaurant, the menu I didn't really like the look of, and we sort of wanted to do something nice on that night because it'll be our last night on board. Really.
Okay, so after that we decided to have a cup of tea, and on board this ship there is a tea house. It's called the Raj Polo Tea House. So we walked in, we were the only ones in the entire place. It's sort of kitted out like, I don't even know what the style would be. Is it like English Indian? Is that right?
Yeah, because it was like Indian elephants and stuff, and like the uniform and everything. So there's a 20-page menu of an assortment of teas that you can have. There is alcoholic teas, there are iced teas, and obviously and there's hot ones. So I had one called a Royal Flush.
And I had one that was called the Royal Queen or something.
No,
it was. Mine had the word royal in it as well, though.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember what yours was called
either,
now. But they then, of course, even though we had ate like all round us at Hola, the guy was like, "Oh, would you like some cookies?" And of course we were like, "Yeah, why not?" So he brought us over a little saucer then with a couple of cookies on it for us, and but the tea was really nice. I really enjoyed the tea.
Yeah, I'm very into my just normal English brewed tea, not any of the specialty ones. I used to be, but not anymore.
But it's sort of like brought to you in lovely little cup and saucer, and lovely little tea.
Yeah, and there was no tea bag. It was tea that was through tea leaves and strained.
Oh,
and
so nice.
By the time it was brought to you, it was just the tea Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really nice, you know. And you sort of just sit there and you think, oh, this is lush, and, you know, are you pinky up or pinky down, you know, when you're drinking tea like that. So after that, we just decided to have a quick walk around the ship, and then we headed back to our cabin, really because we were full and we just wanted to chill for an hour or so. So we came up and we just lounged about the cabin. I sat out in the balcony for a while, as it was quite a nice day, and really just took an easy afternoon.
Yeah. So dinner tonight, we went to the buffet. I think we were a little bit tight for time by the time we got out of the cabin.
Yeah.
Again, it hasn't been the best choice for me. I had pizza, noodles, and pasta. Really, really nice, but I guess I'm getting a little bit sick of pizza at this stage.
Yeah, as I've said before, it's sort of difficult to sort of make a full meal out of the stuff.
Yeah, like there was a risotto, but there was fish in it, and then there was a really nice soup, like a tomato soup, and then I had octopus at the very end, and I was like, oh, I just want something normal.
I had like a bit of paprika beef stuff. I had like a pork chop with some potatoes and broccoli. It's very strange how some things are laid out in the buffet though. Like last night there was a little section which had risotto, like a seafood risotto. It then had broccoli, and then it had rice.
Boiled rice, yes, I remember seeing
Because
that.
you know you really want rice with your risotto, and you really want rice with an old bit of steamed broccoli. So it's very strange. You know, they could have just put the broccoli where they put, say, the roast turkey or roast beef or whatever it was they had.
Yeah, because they had a roast as well, yeah.
Very strange laid, which sort of does mean you're walking about trying to make a meal out of the, you know, for yourself. But yeah, look, as you can see, we're not starving on this cruise, folks. So, you know, we did get something to keep us going. After dinner then, we decided just to head for a walk, and we went out to the World Promenade. And we just walked out there. We just spent a bit of time looking out the back of the ship at the wake, and we had a bit of a sit down there for about 20 minutes or so before we headed to the theatre.
So then it was time for the theatre show, and tonight's show was called Diva Extravaganza. This was a singer that was on the UK's version of The Voice 4 years ago, I think, or something, and her name was Bethzienna.
Yeah, I think that's how you... Bethzienna or Bethzienna, one of the
Or Bethzienna? Zena?
Maybe.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Your sex is on fire. I don't tell you what to do. I don't tell you what to say. Stevie Windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Ready? Oh, come on over. I said now, Valerie. Oh. Take my face, 'cause you're better than all the rest. You're better than anyone, and I'm feeling good.
She was a superb singer.
She was a really good singer. She was a little bit alternative, but she could sing.
Yeah, she really could. We did feel a wee bit sorry for her, because despite her great singing, and she was really good with the audience in terms of telling her story.
Yeah.
You know, because she was telling us
going,
about
yeah.
she was telling us about how she had sang in Buckingham Palace for the Queen, and how she had toured with Tom Jones, which was all very interesting, and we really enjoyed it. However, the thing is, most of the audience here aren't English speaking. So considering every song was sang in English and her storytelling was in English, there was a lot of other people sort of got up and left halfway through the show.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt bad, because I often sort of think, you know, if I was on stage singing and I could see people in the crowd getting up and walking out, I probably would just cry.
Well, it's just lucky you're not a singer then, John.
But she was really, really good. And if you look her up, she's like on Spotify and iTunes and things like that. But she had a really good voice. So after we came out of the theatre, we could hear the music was pumping and there was a bit of a commotion going on. So we had sort of walked up a couple of the flights of stairs so we could see down, and basically it was some of the show team and entertainment crew all dressed up in like colourful costumes, and at one point there was ones dressed as the village people, and they were all sort of singing and dancing in the middle of the World Galleria. And this is sort of nearly like a taster for what the themed disco is that night, which is normally in the Panorama Lounge after their shows finish. And but everybody, it was good to see, and it's nice that sort of happens there.
Yeah, and the way it's set out with the different levels that sit above the deck 6, there's deck 7 and 8 that overlook it. People crowd around there. Now, some people do try to get past them, and you're just thinking, could you not wait for like the 3 minutes that they're going to dance and block your way? But yeah.
But yeah, so we stood there for a few minutes watching that, and then we headed out for some drinks.
Yeah, so we went into the Gin Project bar where we've been most nights on this cruise so far. The staff in there have been really friendly, and we've just really liked the drinks and the selection in there and the atmosphere.
Yeah, there's normally there's always live music on. There's always a guy sort of playing guitar, and he always seems to have the crowd, which is down below in Masters of the Seas.
Like the rowdy crowd.
He has them sort of singing and dancing and things like that. But there was a great atmosphere in that wee pub last night.
Yeah.
And it'll also give us a chance then to meet up with Cruise with David and Kelly, who are also on the cruise. So it was nice just to meet them and get a catch up with them and chat about all things cruising. So after a few drinks and some chats with them about all things cruising, we decided that we were peckish and we wanted some late night snacks.
Yeah, so down to pizza and burger again. Again, no burgers. I don't think they're going to ever have burgers on this cruise. And we actually had to wait for the chips. So I'm not really sure what's going on in this venue, but yeah,
it just does seem a bit chaotic.
It's chaotic. Yeah, it's always chaotic.
Yeah, it's sort of like fast food, but it's like fast food that doesn't last. It's literally on the shelf and it goes fast. More to the point. But yeah, there's chips and pizza. There's filled rolls and things like that, and some fruit and some sweet treats. So I just had 2 filled rolls and some chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had pizza again.
Pizza.
Yeah.
More pizza.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah, you're going to be turning to pizza on this cruise.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's basically how we spent our day 4.
If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up down below. And if you found it useful, please consider subscribing to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.